Some games grab you by the throat and refuse to let go. They're sharp and engaging, and they leave you breathless and desperate for more. They're few and far between though, like tiny jewels in the excrement-filled sandpit of life. And I'm sad to report that Post-Brutal is not one of them. It's more like a game that bursts in through the door, shouts something incomprehensible at you, and then falls over and wets itself. It tries to be a bunch of different things, giving you a whole swathe of options and possibilities, and then manages to mess up pretty much each and every one of them, sometimes all at once. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland that's mainly grey city blocks. You play a rough and ready wasteland wanderer, armed with a gun and an axe, and, if you desire, your own face. Everything's presented in blocky 3D that seems to lack any sort of defining characteristic. It simply is, like a tech demo from a failed engine that was first presented to the public sometime back in the mid-90s. Once you've chosen the ugly mug you're after, you're thrown into a series of missions. The core of the game is all about slaughtering things. Mash the attack button and you'll swing your axe about and cut zombies to bits. Or people, if you're fighting people, it doesn't really matter. There's a dodge button too, and you can swap out to your gun and engage in some really rather poor shooting if you'd prefer. Loot some corpses, find the thing you were looking for, and get ready for another loading screen. Now, there's nothing mechanically broken about Post-Brutal. It's all reasonably solid in a PS1 budget release sort of way. It's just that it's all so hackneyed and laughable that getting any sort of unironic enjoyment out of it is kind of impossible. Mechanically, it's not awful, but everything else that it does is truly terrible. The main character even runs like his pants are filling up with last night's soda, and that's not a good look. Sure, 20 years ago, Post-Brutal might have garnered some front-page coverage on one of the less discerning magazines. Nowadays, though, it just feels childish, like 2 decades of game design have just passed it by. It might be just about worth playing if you want a bit of a laugh, but beyond that, this is one that's best consigned to the history books.
Get back to the vehicle.